Okay, I am not even joking. I tried filming this damn video for about 3 times, and every single time, a person called. Maybe this was universe sign of telling me, hey Hazel, don't do that, man. But yeah, rebel. But that's beside the point. So why I'm here today is to end. And I think being 17 is the strangest thing ever. Because right now, I can tell you, I'm gonna miss being 17. But then there's this crippling feeling in me that tells me that I'm very unprepared for life. Because I'll be dead honest with you. I do not have a dream career. All I've ever dreamed of is miraculously becoming rich. But that's beside the point. It's so it's it's so I don't know how to put this, but I feel like it's so sad that you're supposed to figure out your own freaking damn life by the time you're 17, because after 17 you're gonna graduate school and you've got to get into a uni or a college or whatever, blah blah. And then there are people like me, people who are very unprepared, people who have relied on school for so long that they really don't know what to do. Graduating high school with honors, done, off the list. So what now? I've given my NEET, yay, great. I didn't try JEE, maybe I should have, but yeah, okay. I've thought about law, but my parents are not so okay with me taking law. Plus, have you seen the amount of lawyers in India? I think you'll get an idea then. I've asked some of my friends, and they've all got their own ideologies and theories that they feed me up. It's refreshing to know that they have this really positive view on the world. And then somewhere in the corner, I see little me standing in the crowd, confused about what to do, and she looks me straight in the eye and she says, "Wake up." And then when I wake up, I start to get rot, I binge watch series, and I don't even eat properly, and all I can hear is my mom screaming at me, "Hazel, are you gonna eat or not?" And then I snap back to reality. And in one of those bedrotting sessions, I logged on to Instagram, and that is where I found a ton of message from my school friends asking me, "Hey Hazel, have you got a seat in a college? Are you taking engineering or are you doing medicine? What not?" And then there's also some people who tell me, "Hey Hazel, I've gotten to Christ, I've gotten to Jamia Islamia." I am so happy for them. I am literally so happy for them. And then when that happiness fades away, I again see little me staring back at me, telling, "Okay, Aksha, they've got their life figured out. Acha, fine. What about you? What about you, Hazel? Anything?" Again, I start binge watching series, and again, in one of those sessions, my mom asks me, "Hazel, why aren't you eating?" And I log back into Instagram to look at those same damn messages again. And it's got me thinking, what am I doing with my life? I'm not miraculously gonna be rich. And so I started looking into medicine. Medicine, I have to take a drop if I were to take medicine, because I'll be honest, having an overachiever sister is not the best thing you can do. I mean, think about it. She graduated college without my parents spending so much on her. And then there's this unsaid pressure on you, like, hey Hazel, that's your sister, right? She studied uni without your parents spending a cent on her. What about you? And then I snap back to reality and think that, okay, if I'm gonna go to coaching, it's at least gonna take 2L, and I don't have the courage to ask my parents for 2L. I mean, what are my parents? They're not superheroes, they're just my parents, and asking them somehow makes me feel like an imposter. And wow, if you're still listening to this, I F with you so hard, bro. I'm so thankful you're listening to my venting. But even if you're not, I'm still thankful. So I've been thinking serving people is nice because God knows when we're gonna die. So before we die, how about saving a person? Saving one life is like saving the entire mankind, according to me. But then the process of getting into med school, finishing your MD, which is gonna be about 3 years, and I'll be pretty honest with you, I kind of like money. I lived alone and I got to know how expensive of a person I was. So, again, I need money, guys. So, getting into med, so I mean, that obviously means I have to do a super specialty. Saving a person all sounds so good until money mattered instead. So, I have to clear NEET UG. And one of my seniors, she's like 8 years my senior. So if I'm like 17 right now, she's about 26. Yeah, she's still doing her NEET PG. And all the girls her age, from what I've spoken to her, are now living a good life. I mean, they've got into engineering, IT, and all that sort of stuff. They're earning well. But so I've thought about, okay, what about doing computer science? What about doing engineering? It's a good thing, right? But the very idea of sitting on a desk in a confined space for 9 to 5 itself doesn't doesn't stick with me, man. I don't think that's what we are for. Because for me, I want to travel. Okay, and if you're a brown girl, you have this thing where your parents are gonna be like, okay, you wanna travel? Get married to a rich guy. But no, the feminist in me doesn't allow that too. She's like, Hazel, are you gonna let a man be your sole provider? Because I'll be honest, on one fine day during 11th grade, my biology teacher sat next to us girls and she said, no matter how much a man loves you, never let him be your sole provider. And I can, and seeing the way things are at home, seeing the way things are around me, I can very much tell why she said this to us. And yeah, so I've been thinking, okay, this year, high school, the 16-year-old me that was, in 12th grade, had a lot of anxiety. She went through a lot. There's still pages where she's written about anxiety, her self doubt. She's asked if she will ever make it in life. And to see the 17-year-old me say the same thing kind of makes me sick. But that 16-year-old me would have been a bit happy because I graduated high school with honors. Yay, great. But seriously, dude, what does that even bring to the table? It brought nothing, just emptiness. I don't know how to say this. I spoke to this about my friends. I told them, dude, I don't feel happy about coming school second or school first, and they were like, what the hell, girl? I would be over the moon if I were you. And mind me, I've been using that as an excuse to eat cake. girls. A girl's gotta be a girl. So I've been thinking about other career options like archaeology, and my dad's been obsessed with me taking BA English literature. But being a teacher too doesn't speak to me. And I really don't know what to do because, see, if I take the safer option, which is taking BA English literature, which, mind you, I love literature, it was one of the most favorite subjects at school. If I do take literature, it's a very safe side. I can go to the local community college. I can study, although although it would hurt a bit, but I can still study. It would be nice. But then there's this side of me that's knocking me up, that's asking, Hazel, aren't you even gonna try? So should I just take a drop? Should I take a drop? Should I study for both NEET and JEE? Because right now, engineering, that too, environmental engineering speaks to me. Like, I mean, environment science itself, if you see, it's a very dear topic to me. I've always loved it. So, environmental science speak to me. It's geography, guys, come on. Also, biology speaks volumes to me. Medicine, that is. Medicine too. It's good in a kind of way, but then I don't know if I will have the personal happiness. And talking about happiness, there's this one person who told me, like, girl, you've got to create happiness with whatever you have. Man, I have never heard wiser words. And I asked him, don't you regret not taking something you like? Don't you regret that this is where you are? That all of the things that you've done has led to this very moment? And he was like, don't regret anything in life. Ha ha ha. Oh my god, I hope I can be chill like that. Like, ha 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 ha. Anyway, sorry about that. And yeah, so right now it's either get into general counseling and do engineering. Paramedical too was something I wanted to look into, but you know how paramedical is. Paramedical doesn't sound appealing to me. So maybe taking a drop is wise, but asking my parents for the coaching money kind of hurts. Because I'll be dead honest with you. I will not study at home. I mean, these past a week, week since NEET, I don't know. I've just been bed rotting, man. I've told you this same damn thing. And I think it's about to take action. I've let a week go down the drains, and so it's only proper for me to take responsibility for my action and start building the woman I've always wanted to be. And yeah, that's all that I've had to say. And speaking about all this makes me feel a bit refreshed. I You have no idea how much